With the arrival of the new modern era of Doctor Who being a success, Russell T Davies and the production team need to keep the momentum going. Now, with a decent budget in their hands, it makes sense to go big and go crazy with the world building, with the next episode, The End of the World. This was the episode where Russell T Davies and the team decide to go big or go home. A wide variety of wild creative creature designs, CGI spaceships, and a bigger expansion of world building with visual effects taken to the next level. So here marks the question: did they succeed first time, and does it still hold up? Now, I remember first watching this episode on the first DVD set, thinking while it was good, it definitely wasn't something I would want to watch over and over again. But upon rewatch, there was actually something to this episode that I think a lot of people might have missed out upon. Picking up straight after the end of Rose, the Doctor, wanting to show off, travels to the further future to arrive on a satellite orbiting an abandoned Earth about to be destroyed by an expanding sun. On board, they are greeted by a wide variety of rich yet cheaply designed aliens who come together to visit the end of the world. Rose, of course, is affected by this new world around her that not even the Doctor seems to care about it. However, it is not long until things go wrong, for it turns out there is a saboteur amongst them, where people are being killed off and a group of robot spiders intervene with the satellite system. With Rose stuck amongst the chaos, the Doctor has to admit to his own personal demons of the past to fix everything and save Rose before the Earth's destruction. We discover in this episode, though not entirely, what kind of a man the Doctor is. This is a guy who has been through a lot. He has seen destruction, devastation, and heartbreak so many times that he is literally trying to move away from it by living the moment. As he points out in the scene with Rose, all that counts is here and now. He may be going around with a spring in his step, try to impress Rose with how his world works, or make a little dance that will soon become a meme, but inside, he is a frustrated yet devastated broken man who has lost his edge. I especially love how his scenes with Jabe, played by Yasmin Bannerman, are played out to show who the Doctor is. Jabe, who not only has a beautiful makeup design, as well as this detailed nature bird tweet and iPad, but she is portrayed as someone from a high authority who is very supportive, very reliable, and very sympathetic. When things go wrong, she doesn't ignore them and carry on with the party, she actually goes to help the Doctor out. The best scene with her is easily when she informs the Doctor that she knows who he is and where he came from, and she sympathizes for him, saying how sorry she is for what he has gone through. And the Doctor's reaction? So believable. He doesn't say anything, he turns his head, a tear in his eye, and he places his hand upon hers. That moment is way more powerful than any line of dialogue in recent Doctor Who stories. Oh, and funny enough, unless I'm mistaken, this is actually the first appearance of the psychic paper. I've got nothing else to add to that, I just wanted to point that out. Much like the audience, Rose is in the right mindset. She has stumbled upon this crazy insane dimension and she does not know how to react to it. She is thrilled with stuff like the Doctor being able to sap her phone to have a phone call with her mum a billion years in the past, but she's also naturally freaked out about how this world and these people around her react towards her and her lifestyle that she probably doesn't know anymore. It's all alien to her. This world has a big effect on her, and the only man who can help her and answer to her questions is a complete stranger. One of my favourite scenes in this episode, in fact the only scene I always remember every time someone mentions this episode, is when she's talking to the plumber. She is told that she has to offer the plumber permission to talk, so she confusingly does. And the conversation they do have together, I don't know how to describe it, but it's, well, natural. It's real. It's like looking at two relatable people having a nice talk with each other that I actually had to remind myself, oh yeah, the plumber is an alien and Rose is on an alien satellite. Another scene I really appreciate is when she confronts what is believed to be the last human, Cassandra, voiced by Zoe Wanamaker. At first I thought this was a way for Rose to show off how important she is to be the only human being alive in this setting. But speaking as someone who does not actually like how cosmetic surgery is used by some people trying to make themselves look better or at least look presentable, I can see where Rose is coming from. Cassandra is a character who has been using this surgery substance so many times that everything relating her to be a human is almost gone. And this disgusts Rose. So yeah, a moment in which I thought I hated Rose has now turned into something I can easily relate to. Now, the biggest selling points of this episode at the time were the production values. Now, with something like an alien satellite, people might expect metal corridors, blue lights with wires scattered along the floor. But instead, the interior mostly looks like a richly designed cathedral. And when you've got a variety of aliens from rich societies, it actually fits well. Some of the alien designs are kinda cool, like I said, the tree people with a very convincing makeup, Cassandra with a nice blend of animatronics and CGI, as well as the designs of the marks of Whovember and the face of Bo are done really well. But then you get the other aliens. While they're not terrible to look at, and you can tell each one apart, you do feel like these are clearly recycled or reused costumes. Like, look at these bird aliens. Those masks don't look comfortable to wear. But those are just nitpicks. I also like the idea of a group of alien species coming together only to watch other planets be destroyed for entertainment's sake. I guess you can say it's a nice clever satire on the social commentary, how the higher authorities take advantage of working class systems being broken down, or how the fall of ancient civilizations could lead to big money for them. I just kinda wish the world building around the working class society was explored a bit more, but who knows? Maybe we could get some of that explored in a future episode. The only problem this episode may have is actually when the plot happens. Now, it's not a bad plot, it's just predictable at times. Particularly when these nicely designed but dated CGI robot spiders come into place. When they start to infiltrate the platforms, kill some of the passengers and manipulate the actual event. For example, there's a scene being played out almost like an Agatha Christie mystery, which is cool. I'd like to see an alien-like murder mystery. The problem with that is, we already know who the culprit is. I won't give it away, but it's literally the only character who has been given so much attention and build-up. There are also some plot moments like character deaths that could easily have been fixed by just running out the door, pressing a button, or find a different way around something. And some of the production designs are a little bit odd, like repeating the same corridors, how all the rooms almost look exactly the same, and why are there giant fans blocking a bridge leading to a control panel? Who designed this thing? But you know what? I can easily overlook those issues because of one simple thing, and that is the ending. The Doctor and Rose watch the remains of the Earth floating in space, knowing that an entire civilization, an entire world, has just blown up right in front of them, and no one was there to see it. The Doctor takes Rose's hand, and they arrive back at present-day Earth, and the way they shot amongst a crowd of people is just perfect. The Doctor finally admits to Rose that his home planet is gone. Rose doesn't do anything, she just stands there, looks around, knowing that one day all of this will be gone. But not wanting to draw that much attention, she decides to go and get some chips with the Doctor. It's a simple yet effective scene to go out. This establishes to Rose as well as the audience that we need to appreciate what we already have while we can. That's kind of a way to describe this episode. Yes, it's slow moving at moments, some of the production choices are a little questionably cheap, and while it's not really an episode I'm in a hurry to watch over again, it does lend us some moments to really appreciate. Again, like the conversation with the plumber, the dive into the Doctor's well-being and lifestyle, and of course the ending. So yeah, in a strange way, I do recommend watching it. It's actually a decent episode to start off with after a set-up pilot like Rose. While I won't guarantee you will want to revisit it, but I can say you will at least appreciate its reason for existing.